I've got some news for you. You don't have time to work out. Crazy, right? What am I talking about? Well, we're going to dive into that in this episode, so strap in and let's hit it.
I've always been that skinny guy.
Why can't I gain muscle mass?
What do I do in the gym?
They said I'd always be skinny.
This is your complete source for how to gain lean muscle and break out of your skinny body. From nutrition to getting the most out of your workouts and everything in between. We know just how frustrating gaining muscle mass can be, but don't worry, we've got you covered. You're listening to the Bones to Bulk podcast. Hello, and welcome to today's episode. This is 019, and again, we're talking about why you don't have time to work out. That sounds crazy, right? What am I talking about? But before I dive into the message, I just want to remind everybody that we do have our complete Bones to Bulk course online. It's in the show notes. You can check it out. There's a little trailer for it. You can kind of see what it's all about, but it covers everything from nutrition to workouts, everything in between. Also, if you're not ready to quite take that full jump, we do have a free course as well on our site. Again, the link is in the show notes. Check it out. And yeah, so let's dive in. So you don't have time to work out. What am I talking about? The truth is you don't. Life is crazy busy. Just my wife and I, we hold 4 jobs between the two of us, and that's not including our own businesses that we run. So life is busy, and then throw in 2 kids under the age of 5, our own fitness habits that we keep, and yeah, there's just not a lot of extra time in the day. What I mean when I say you don't have time to work out is you don't. You've got to create the time, because guess what? It's not going to magically appear. You're not going to wake up one day and be like, oh wow, I've got 4 extra hours today to do whatever I want. No, it doesn't work that way. You've got to create the time. You've got to make it a priority. You've got to carve it out. Otherwise, life is going to run you, and you will not be running life. So how do you make time for the gym? How do you carve out that time? Well, first off, it takes sacrifice. We have 24 hours in a day. There's nothing we can do to change that. We can't, let's get 25 hours a day. No, it just doesn't work that way. So you've got to make the most of the time you have. And you can do this in several ways. The first thing you need to start doing, if you're not, is start planning. Whether this be on your Google Calendar, whether it be a pad and paper, go buy a planner, whatever you have to do, but start planning your week out. If you do not do this, guess what? Nothing is going to get accomplished that week because you haven't planned for anything. And again, life is just going to take the reins and lead you rather than you leading it. So plan it out. Tell yourself, if you're going to work out 3 days this week, put it on your planner. Write down what days you're going to go, what time, when it's going to work out. If you have meetings, write them down. If there's some personal goal that you have, let's say you want to carve out some time to read a book or practice some meditation or whatever it may be during the week, put that on your planner, on your calendar, and plan for it. It's not hard, but doing that, it gets the gears turning in your mind. It puts it on the forefront. So you're like, you know what? I put this on my planner. I need to get it done. Second thing, to make time. Cut something out. Let's be honest, there's a lot of things in our life that aren't necessary. If you don't believe me, put the app on your phone where it tells you how many times you look at your phone in a day or how long you spend on your social media apps, and tell me if I'm wrong here. We all have time to scroll Facebook or Instagram or whatever social media outlet of choice. We typically sit down and watch a show or binge a show or watch movies, whether this is during the week, on the weekend, or we have that one show we just gotta make and gotta sit down. You get my point. We make priorities for certain things, and as busy as your schedule is, there's something that's stealing your time. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. Like Heather and I, we binge shows from time to time, and or binging's the wrong word. We really don't ever binge a show, but we do watch shows and we go through them. And so we'll carve out, hey, let's this night, let's take some time out and just hang out and watch a show. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you're not able to get your workouts in and take care of your health because because of those things, then it's time to reevaluate and start carving some more time out. So skip the show so that you can go to bed earlier, so that you can get up earlier. And that brings me to number 3. Get up earlier. Sleep is a stealer of life. Now, don't get me wrong. Sleep is important. We need good, solid sleep. But often sleep kind of creeps in and we get more than we need, especially on the weekends. We'll sleep in, we'll, hit the snooze button I don't know how many times. And when in reality, we can get up. And oftentimes, if you haven't ever tried it, getting less sleep can sometimes actually be more beneficial to your body. Also, pay attention to your sleep windows. So, our bodies go through 1.5-hour cycles. So if you're waking up at 7 hours of sleep, try doing 6 to hit that window and see if you don't feel better, because your body naturally goes through these cycles. So you're naturally going to feel more awake rather than cutting yourself off in the cycle. And the way those cycles work is they're 90 minutes. So, an hour and a half is 3 hours, times 2 is 6 hours. So that's, your cycles times 4. So get 6 hours of sleep or shoot for 7.5, etc. Keep it within those 90-minute blocks. Yeah, getting up earlier, man, I can't talk enough about that. When you get up earlier, you have so much more, not just motivation throughout the rest of the day when you get stuff done early, but it's that golden hour. You may have heard that term before, but it truly is. The world is not awake. There's not a million people blowing up your phone. It's quiet. There's not a lot going on. So take advantage of that. Like I said, skip the show at night, try it out, turn the shows off, go to bed at 10 o'clock. And you may say, wow, that's super early. It's really not. Go to bed at 10, get up at 4. That's 6 hours of sleep, and then get to the gym in the morning, do your thing, and see how much better you feel. Getting up at 4 a.m., let's say you don't have to leave for work till 7. That gives you 3 hours. That gives you time to go to the gym, to get home, to shower, and probably still have some time to eat a healthy breakfast and even get some morning reading in, or just drinking a cup of coffee and being quiet with your thoughts. These things are all beneficial. And then you're going to find that despite getting up at 4 a.m., you crush it that day. You have more energy, you have more motivation to get things done, because guess what? You've already accomplished so much before most of the world is even awake. So if you don't believe me, try this out for a few weeks. See if you don't feel better. All right, so we're talking time, right? And one of the biggest time sucks there are is cooking dinners. I'm not gonna lie, cooking dinner takes time. We didn't prep this week. It's been a little bit of a crazy week. We've had company and we've been in and out of town. So it's been a little not normal week for us. So we didn't prep, we just went to the grocery store, got our typical groceries, threw them all in the fridge, and we're done with it. And, we're still on point with our nutrition, but the problem is we didn't prep. And just like the last couple of nights we've spent between cooking and cleanup and all of it, it's an hour to an hour and a half from the time you start cooking to the time you're ready to go back to whatever you're doing. And that's a lot of time, as opposed to prepping where you just throw something in the oven or the crock pot and go back to whatever it is you need to take care of, come back and eat when it's cooked. So start meal prepping. If that means skipping the movies on the weekend to meal prep, make it fun. Crank some music up, meal prep. If you're with a significant other, then do it together. It can be a fun thing. It doesn't have to be this drag, this horrible ordeal. If you've got something planned, a guy's night out or a girl's night out, don't let that take away from your time. If that's the only time you have to meal prep, don't let that take away from that time. Hold that time dear, because guess what? When all that stuff's set up, you're going to be way more productive during the week. You're going to be able to crush way more of your goals. If you're already pressed for time, it's going to help you out so much. It does so much mentally because you feel like you're at the top of your game. And when you feel that way mentally, guess what? The physical is going to follow it. All right, well, I know I got really fired up over that. I love time management, and, it's just, there's so much to it. So take this to heart and really start practicing some of what I'm telling you to do. It's going to make a difference, I promise. Remember, no matter what anybody has told you, no matter what obstacles you've hit, where you've come from in your past, what people have told you, you can accomplish your fitness goals. You can put on lean muscle. It is possible. It's not this pie in the sky ordeal. I am here anytime. Hit me up if you want to talk. Go to my website. You can contact me on there, social media, anywhere you want. I'm available. Would love to connect with you. Hope you have an amazing week and crush it this week. You've got this.